entering into the 4 biggest weeks of the year for us. At different times of the year, there are different emphasis and different things that affect you. One thing I think when you go into November is there's no such thing as a 100% football team. Both these guys right here are carrying bumps and bruises, and the game feels a lot different now than it did in August, just like the temperature you play in. We look back and the things that we've accomplished and what it actually represents, just like last week against Kentucky, and it means whatever we want it to mean. The good thing about where we stand right now is that we have a halfway point in the conference championship. We're 4-0. The other teams are trying to beat us. We're the only one that controls their destiny. We're playing a team this week that is the reason we didn't win the conference last year. We didn't finish a football game against them and didn't finish the season very well. I do think that this football team is a considerably different state of mind at this point in time than we did last year. So I don't know that there's much comparison between where we are right now, where we were this time last year. So we're right now just trying to get focused on getting ready to play. We have an enormous challenge. Tennessee Tech is somewhat like us, and the reason I say that is that we're a 3, 4, and 5 team in every statistical category. They're a 3, 4, and 5 team in every statistical category also. We're a good football team, as our record would say. They're a good football team, as their record would say. I think it's all about how we play, how well we take a game plan, how well we take a scout report and turn it into performance. They're getting outstanding quarterback play out of Lamb. I think we're getting good quarterback play out of Cody. I think both these guys have really got to play good football games, and I think whoever plays the best is probably going to give their team the biggest advantage in this game. Both teams have quality running backs. They're number 1 and 2 rushers in the league. I think there are a lot of comparables. I think it's a pretty even matchup. It's just who's going to bring their best preparation to this game. And these two guys that are sitting here are critical. Texas plays a position for us that's called a bandit, and it really is a playmaking position. It's a position that has a lot of different alignments, some degree of freedom. He's the player for us that we try to position to have sacks, to have tackles for losses, and went through some injuries early in the year. He's probably not 100% right now, but okay, good answer. But I think he's ready to play his best football at the time that we need for him to, and be a difference maker from the position he plays. Texas is a senior. Max Holcomb here is a freshman and been starting for us at center the whole year. Has done nothing but grow in the challenge of it. And I know he had to come out of the game with an injury. And got right back in there at Kentucky last week. And so, both these guys represent very critical parts. We got to win up front, and that's where it starts. Texas is part of that on defense, and Max is a critical part of that on offense. So we've got some people that are going to be a little iffy as we go through the week. We're not discounting everybody being there and being ready, but we may find out by Tuesday or Wednesday that there is. Coon up, Gage. Takes a real man to wear that pink, buddy. Gabe has made a consistent contribution in our kicking game. Gabe will evolve into more playing time as a wide receiver, and he will make a major contribution there also. He's an extremely talented football player. People that have been around all fall watching practice, not surprised by what happened at Kentucky. If you remember back in the UT Martin game, it basically was the reason that we were able to come back like we did, because Gabe's returns put us back at midfield every time they scored. So Gabe is, like Max, has made that really tough early contribution when you're a freshman. And both these guys are quality people and represent what we're out there trying to recruit right now. But I'll leave questions to them.
Gary, so something that stuck with me after Saturday when we talked about your kickoff return. You said when Tolson cleared out the kicker,
There's a joke in this now.
Yeah, I know, because you said something. I think this is what it is. Where you said something like you've been having trouble running with kickers this year or something. Have they been catching you, or tell me about that? And I just it just went over me, and I'm thinking, well, what did he mean by it?
Well, I give credit to Tosin for knocking the kicker out the way, because here lately, me and the kickers we haven't been having a good combination. The kickers normally get me, so I give credit to Tosin and the rest of my teammates for making the blocks for me and guiding me through the end zone. So that's basically, I just thank Tosin, because if it was me one-on-one with the kicker,
results hadn't been too good.
Yeah.
He's been getting booed in the kicking meetings.
Yeah.
By the rest, we stand up and applaud great things, and we give boos to bad things. And for all of his great effort, he's been getting booed because of the kicker. That ain't gonna last long, is it?
No, sir.
All right.
Okay, would you just expound to just having 2 days or so to think back to that? How happy you were with the kickoff return, the importance of it. I asked you Saturday because you answered their score with your kickoff return.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I was tired, but I enjoyed it. And I mean, scoring on the SEC school, that just gave me a little more confidence about that. If I can score on them, I can score on anybody in our conference. So my thing is to help my teammates out any way I can on the kicking team, and hopefully this week that I can get another one.
Did you go through the meeting? Was there cheers this time and no boos this time?
Yes, sir. It was cheers this time.
3 claps is what it is.
In Texas, I wanted to ask you, what do you remember the scoring of last year's Tennessee Tech game? And secondly on that, how much will you use that in your personal motivation this week?
Yeah, I definitely, on a personal level, and I think just from talking to the other defensive players and players on the team, this is a lot of motivation, because that loss against Tennessee Tech, just thinking back, that's probably the worst loss I've ever felt, just because, we've been trying our whole careers to win a ring, and we had someone, take it from us basically, because we had the game, we were winning, and we had them come back and take it from us. And so, we wear a bracelet. I actually got mine cut off when we were cutting our tape off this weekend. But at the end of the statement on the bracelet, it says, and I won't be denied. And this is going to be a true test of that, and I think that's going to be the motivation throughout the whole week. It's just we're first in the conference, so let's go ahead and finish it the way we're supposed to, unlike last year. So last year is a lot of motivation for this year, definitely. But nothing that happened last year is going to help win this game. So we just got to come out prepared Tuesday through Thursday.
How emotional this game is.
Definitely.
In football, things stick with people a long time, and you, as opposed to the other 2 guys that you're sitting there with, you experienced that.
Yeah, and I think it's good that we have a lot of seniors on the team to be able to get that point across of how serious the game is, and how big composure and being consistent is going to play a key role in this game, just like it did last year.
So the coaches won't have to talk a whole lot about last year, will they?
No, Coach Crowe hasn't let us forget that. You know, I mean, that's been a sticking point that, you know, we did lose the conference last year and we had a chance to have it won. So, no, Coach Crowe's not gonna have to tell us much about that. We got that in our hearts right now. We're ready to go for that.
Traveling every game last year, so I was at the Tennessee Tech game when we pretty much lost the game right there at the end. I was there. I felt the sting because we were so close to winning the conference championship. It's a motivation for me to be able to finish it out this year and actually get the conference championship.
Coach Crowe, you just talk a little bit about what you see from Tennessee Tech. I know you look at offense a lot. A couple of weeks ago, was it Murray that you said they had like 3 really dynamic offensive threats? And I think these guys
You got the
pretty
same
close
thing.
to that.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, Benford, I don't want to overstate this, and I said this earlier to Mike. In our whole time in the OVC, I don't think there's been somebody, when you look at his career and his impact even this year, I think he's made the biggest impact on this league than any other one player has. I mean, he can win the game by himself and has provided their margin of victory in several games. The quarterback comes from a family of football people. The Lambs are all coaches and players, and I don't know if you're aware of that. I mean, he's a coach's son from Calhoun, and his uncle was a head coach at Bobby, was a head coach at Furman. It's the same family. And they're just very, very, and he was hurt last year, didn't play against. In fact, I talked to him about his uncle for the game. But he is a football player. I mean, he's a lot like Cody. You know, he's a dual threat. He's got a makes good decisions. He's got a burst of speed. You know, he can get 30 yards on you quick. They are running pretty much a quarterback-driven offense. I mean, it's a spread offense. They basically, I think, and Watson would tell you for sure, but I think I've heard or read somewhere that they changed their style of play because they found this spread in the second half against us and the no-huddle part of it, and I think they have, created some momentum when they beat us there last year, and they've continued to follow that path. But he's really the key to the whole thing. And then you got the running back who is leading the league in rushing. That's all you got to say. I think he's one of the top in the country, and Dante Gay. So most good football teams, they have triplets, and they got them. Anything else, guys? Good.